They want me to fight the chicken?
Chicken jockey!
The Minecraft movie has had a little over a week to brew in the court of public opinion, and I'm pleased to report that it's receiving raving reviews. Everyone leaves the theater refreshed from laughter and their favorite quotes on the tips of their tongues. However, the best part has to be how faithful the film remained to the source material. Fans wanted a story that felt like logging into their servers and exploring with friends, and I can confirm that this movie delivered. I believe the movie did everything it could to do the beloved game justice, but as a media adaptation, there were a few opportunities it missed. In today's video, I'll discuss what I would have liked to see in the Minecraft movie and what could still appear in the sequel.
I started digging and digging until I found...
Number 1. More lore. While Minecraft began as a humble sandbox where gamers could let their imaginations run wild, the franchise has a fair bit of lore hidden within its depths that is worth exploring. Many fans expected the movie adaptation would pick out the lore sprinkled throughout the franchise and use it as a blueprint to create Steve's story. Instead, they took a unique approach, turning Steve into an average human with an innate desire to explore his town's local mines. His dream followed him into adulthood, where he eventually found a pickaxe and went to work. He discovered the Orb of Dominance and the Earth Crystal during his exploration. Combined, they opened a portal to the Overworld, an alternate dimension where nearly anything is possible. It sounds like an epic start to a grand adventure, but the film's opening is an exposition provided by Steve, who recounts the many decades he spent living in the Overworld. Not only does he become an expert miner with countless treasures, but he's also a proficient combatant who can take down hordes of mobs without support. During his earliest days in the Overworld, he tames a wolf named Dennis, who follows him into the Nether, where they encounter an evil piglin sorceress named Malgosia. To protect the Orb of Dominance, Steve sends Dennis to hide it on Earth and spends his remaining years in Malgosia's prison until new humans enter the Overworld with the Orb. The movie implies that Steve is the first human to enter the Overworld with the Orb and Earth Crystal, and he remains the only human in the dimension for several decades as he learns to live among the villagers and other mobs. However, as the orb finds itself on Earth hidden within a mortal mine, it seems likely that there's deeper lore in Minecraft's movie universe that the story didn't have time to explore or that the writers chose to reserve it for a sequel.
I am Steve. As a child, I yearned for the mines.
Number 2. More biomes. One of the details that makes Minecraft a unique sandbox game is the existence of multiple biomes in a single world. In the Overworld, someone could travel miles in any direction and find themselves in deserts, jungles, or snowy mountains. The variety of locations allows players to find an equally vast collection of treasures, supplies, and mobs, which enhances their building experience. Steve represents this well in the movie, as he has a whole building dedicated to the many rewards and treasures he'd found during his explorations. We can assume that he spent time in every biome, exploring what each has to offer with Dennis at his side. Yet with the movie's limited runtime, we spend most of their adventure in the more green biomes, like the forests, plains, and mushroom fields. Had the movie had more time to spare, I'm sure fans would have loved to see other biomes brought to life on the big screen. One of my favorite scenes from the film was a shot of the pandas in the jungle, peacefully minding their own business while Steve and the others fled from their enemies. The jungle biome spawned some beloved mobs like ocelots who didn't make it into the final film. Hopefully, Steve's next adventure will take him to new parts of the Overworld. Number 3. Game connections. While the entire movie references the original Minecraft game, one of the primary plot points references Minecraft dungeons. As the main antagonist from the dungeon crawler RPG set in the same universe, he gained his abilities and powers from the same Orb of Dominance sought by Malgosia. I liked that the movie tried to give credit to various forms of media, giving every player their due as they took references from every corner of the franchise to create one satisfying movie. However, there are still other sources that could have inspired the film. For example, Minecraft is already a role-playing game heavily based on story and player choice, which could have made the perfect foundation for a film or series adaptation, like Minecraft Story Mode. This single-player and narrative-driven adaptation might not be as popular as its counterparts, but it gave a unique look into the world of Minecraft from characters who had lived and adventured there their entire lives. I would have loved to see a subtle nod to the player character, Jesse, or one of their allies.
Midport Village!
Whoa. Who are these guys?
Oh, these dudes? They're the villagers!
Number 4. More enemies. When fans heard that a movie adaptation of Minecraft was happening, there were countless expectations for what the enemies would look and act like. The original game has no shortage of enemies for players, with some mobs receiving upgrades with every update. Naturally, players have found creative ways to use these mobs, with some farming them for experience and items. The movie cheekily references this strategy when Steve, Garrett, and Henry flee from the Great Hog in the mines. Unfortunately, Garrett has to push their minecart through a sea of creepers which Steve had been breeding underground before his capture. Naturally, the fans have much to say about the mobs in Minecraft, and everyone has their favorite. Unfortunately, movies limit how much the story can showcase, meaning only a handful of mobs made it past the cutting room floor. Throughout their adventure, Steve and his allies fought through zombies, skeletons, spiders, illagers, piglins, and even an enderman. For the main story, Malgosia remained the primary antagonist, often sending her piglin soldiers after Steve to wreak havoc or attack innocent villagers in pursuit of the orb. However, the film had room to feature more than one primary antagonist, especially if Malgosia took the time to make allies while planning to expend the Nether's darkness. In the game, a third dimension is accessible to players and is called the End. The players must defeat the mob in this location to beat the game and view the credits. The mob is a massive flying dragon that surpasses most other enemies in the game and is widely regarded as the final boss. Many fans expected the Ender Dragon to appear in the Minecraft movie. Its absence is one of the bigger missed opportunities, but it does leave room for a more formidable antagonist in the sequel.
Can be built out of blocks. Got a boy?
Number 5. Game-related characters. As everyone knows, the main protagonist of the Minecraft movie is Steve, the first playable skin in the game. However, instead of acting like the new hero on the scene, Steve becomes the wise and jolly mentor who guides his new allies through the many dangers of the Overworld. Unlike the humans who have entered the Overworld for the first time, he knows how to survive a crowd of zombies, use a crafting table, and navigate through a trap-filled mine. In hindsight, it makes sense that the movie included an ensemble of brand new characters to round out the cast. Henry, Natalie, Dawn, and Garrett each had personal struggles they needed to overcome and unique skills that allowed them to thrive in the Overworld. These skills might not have had the chance to shine on Earth, so they needed to partake in this adventure for their personal journeys. The fact that they're newcomers to the Overworld helps round out their character arcs and makes them more relatable to the audience, which is more important overall. However, I can't help feeling like the movie could have included other characters inspired by Minecraft skins. In the post-credits scene, Steve returns to his former home and meets the new owner, Alex. Alex is a direct reference to the second skin added to Minecraft and hints at the potential of a sequel. Had Alex existed in the original film, she could have aided Steve in his fight against Malgosia, or given him a more knowledgeable ally to depend on when separated from Dennis.
Life here was perfect. Until one day, flint and steel.
While there were a few things we would have loved to see from the Minecraft movie, there's always the potential for our wishes to be answered in future installments. The movie's post-credits heavily imply another adaptation in the near future that will follow Steve and Alex as they return to the Overworld for a new adventure. They will encounter new friends, make new enemies, and unearth new treasures when that time comes.
And you got yourself a sweet blade.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.